Imagine a house so big that it has its own private zoo. Not only that, it also has a discotheque, a go-kart track, a private landing strip costing $30 million to build. These are just a few of the features of Pablo Escobar's abandoned mansions. When the parties were wild, the money was endless, the secrets were still buried deep within the walls. Let's have a tour, shall we? La Casa Grande. Pablo did not make all of his purchases in Colombia. On the tiny island of Isla Grande in the Caribbean, he had a house called La Casa Grande. About 800 people call this island home, and the only way to get here is by boat from neighboring Cartagena. The tiny island was one of the cocaine king's largest estates and was designed as a hideaway for lavish parties. All of the bathrooms at La Casa Grande's more than 300 rooms supposedly came equipped with shower heads made of real gold. In addition, there is a swimming pool, a helipad, and a private nightclub. There are whispers that the mansion is full of hidden rooms and corridors. When Escobar died in 1993, his family left the mansion and it gradually deteriorated. The Colombian government has taken possession of it, thus visitors may no longer access it. A small number of tour companies, however, provide boat trips to the island so that guests can get a look at the mansion from the water. La Manuela. La Manuela, Pablo's 20-acre getaway in the Colombian resort town of Guatape, was named after his daughter. Pablo invested heavily in La Manuela since he didn't want to honor his daughter with a rundown establishment. He went there whenever the pressures of being the largest drug dealer in the world got to be too great. The sprawling estate was outfitted with a football field, tennis courts, a swimming pool, a helipad, a seaplane dock, which makes it truly a relaxing and a perfect place for getaways. The mansion, which was one of Escobar's favorites, also included a disco and trees imported from all over the world. Well, he probably loves nature as befitting for a man growing up in the Colombian forests. However, a group calling themselves Los Pepes, Perseguidos por Pablo Escobar, bombed the estate in 1993. According to reports, Escobar's adversaries, including the Cali cartel, backed Los Pepes. About 200 kilograms of TNT were hidden in a La Manuela restroom before they attacked. The house was obliterated by the explosion. Quickly responding to the explosion's aftermath, law enforcement officers were able to seize the drugs and cash that had been discovered. There was no official report, but according to journalists and police officers, it could range from $100 million to $1 billion. However, these are also rumors that some of the cash and drugs were salvaged by Escobar's associates or by the Colombian government itself. These rumors have never been confirmed, but they have added to the mystique of La Manuela and its contents. After that, people stopped coming to La Manuela, and nature gradually took over. It's run down and overgrown with plants and weeds right now, but it's still infrequently utilized as a paintball site. Hotel Escobar, La Catedral. As part of an agreement with the Colombian government, Escobar had a lavish La Catedral prison constructed to his specifications. It was also known as Hotel Escobar or Club Medelin. The Colombian government agreed to not extradite Escobar to the United States in exchange for his guilty plea and a maximum sentence of 5 years. There was a football field, a bar, a casino, a spa, and even a waterfall in the prison. Pablo was said to have been protected from assassination attempts by the prison's design, which kept people outside rather than inside. A year and a half into his sentence, everything was going smoothly. The authorities were turning a blind eye to Pablo's continuous drug trafficking while he was incarcerated. However, after Escobar tortured and killed 4 of the guards, the authorities wanted to place him in a conventional jail, and Pablo was forced to go on the run. The government of Colombia didn't waste any time this time and assembled a 600-person squad to track down Escobar. The rest, as they say, is history. On December 2, 1993, when Escobar attempted to flee, he was shot and killed on a rooftop. La Catedral remained deserted until 2007, when a group of Benedictine monks began to reclaim the location. The monks were drawn to the area because of its peaceful and remote setting, far from the noise and distractions of the city. To revitalize the building, the monks set out on a quest, along with a memorial to the cartel's victims and ties to the prison. They built a chapel, library, cafeteria, and hotel. As such, Pablo Escobar, arguably the most notorious and violent drug dealer in history, may have finally found some closure with his death. Monaco Building. Pablo Escobar's crime fortress was the Monaco Building. an 8-story concrete home in Medelin. In addition to the 12 apartments where Pablo and his family lived, the building also had 2 swimming pools, a tennis court, a panic room, a vault, and a parking lot of 34 of Pablo's antique automobiles and motorcycles. Seems that Pablo has a penchant for grandiose homes and luxurious living. Like many of his other mansions, the structure was hit by a car bomb in January 1988, signaling the beginning of a bloody confrontation between the drug gangs of Medelin and Cali. After being confiscated by the government 2 years later, the building sat empty for some time before being turned into a tourist attraction. In 2019, the structure was demolished to the delight and dismay of locals. Hacienda Nápoles. 100 miles east of Medelin was where Escobar kept his personal zoo and country home called Hacienda Nápoles. The ranch included several attractions such as a large sculpture park and a full-fledged zoo with animals from all over the world, as well as the magnificent Spanish colonial mansion. The zoo was home to a variety of fascinating animals and birds, including antelopes, elephants, giraffes, hippos, ostriches, and even ponies. The estate featured not just beautiful scenery but also a collection of rare and expensive automobiles and motorcycles. The home was so convenient that it came with an airport. Well, we can't deny that Pablo loved his automobiles and easier modes of transportation. After all, his job demanded being in one place to another. The estate was so lavish that it even had its own Formula One racetrack and a brothel. Legal battles sprang out between Pablo Escobar's family and the Colombian government over their property after he died in 1993 and the collapse of the Medelin cartel. Despite the government's victory, Hacienda Nápoles was left to fall into disrepair and was left for a long period. After years of neglect, the land was acquired by the Colombian government, which turned it into Temático Hacienda Nápoles Park. The zoo currently houses bison, a rare goat, ostrich, and zebras, while the park itself has a safari and water park. While some of the animals like the hippos escaped during Pablo's death and have been terrorizing Colombian waters, since these creatures have no natural predators in Colombia, the population has grown to almost 130, making it the largest population outside of Africa. And that concludes our list. These mentions are a testament to Escobar's influence and how vast their business became that even the government would make an exception and build a private prison for him. However, we can't deny the implications of his business on many people's lives. But anywho, which one's your favorite? Tell us in the comment section down below. For more of this content, click the like and subscribe. See you next time.